Hey guys, how are we doing today? We got another video coming up for you guys over this little fall break weekend. I'm going to be gone, so I'm doing all these videos all in one day recording. Today is a Thursday, so I'm not sure when it's going to be live, but hopefully either a Friday, Saturday, or even a Monday. So this one is going to be a bit more of a generalized video with people either starting off mid-game. I wouldn't say this is more for late-game players. I don't know my audience anymore with where we are with all my audience. You know, they're GP, are they end game, are they mid game? I don't know if I have many people that are free to play or are not free to play but are earlier in the game. I know AP Gains, he's popping off right now on his channel. He's doing great, and he's got a lot of those viewers, so that are a lot of viewers that are like more starting off. So I was just kind of thinking to myself, you know, I feel like I cater more towards those players that are like around where I'm at. I'm at 7.2 million GP. I have most of the GLs, and I'm at this level of play, and I tend to forget those players that are lower, that are a different stage of the game than I am right now. But at the same time, I've been there. I've been through all that stuff. But mind you, I started all that back in 2015 when the game first started, and the game has definitely changed a lot. So when people throw me ideas for videos, it's like I'm not even there, and it's kind of like I've never been there because I never had to, work towards some of these new teams and factions, because when I started off, we had like next to nothing in terms of like characters. There is like, you go down my roster, I have some characters that like are super old and they just have sat there for 5+ years. So, just some of these guys you can see. Anyways, let's go talk about the video for today. Sorry, that was a bit of a long intro, but I would just love to know your guys' ideas for more videos like this. I'm totally down for them. Maybe some like lists videos, like a top 5 of this for like those players or whatever. I'm just down for doing videos in general. I love it. So I have this on my little thing. I would say the one I want to start off doing is some of the best, let's just say 5 to 6 better free-to-play teams out there. This is for beginners. This is for mid-game or whoever. You can even, add to the conversation down below in the comments if you guys are like those end-game players where I'm at, kind of. So here we go. I have a list. It's round 6, so we have a bit of these that are like tied in together. Some more are specific than others, but let's go to the first one. The first one, in no specific order, is going to be the bounty hunter. So this one, again, I just did a video talking about scoundrels and how important they're going to be. This is even, adding on to that even more so, because these guys are fantastic. You can get a lot of these guys earlier on in the game, and from what they can accomplish, these guys are fantastic. Bosk lead is probably the best one to have if you're starting off, and I think one of his nodes is the best nodes in the game in terms of getting him and also his ship unlocked, which is also one of the best ships in the game, which is the Hounds too. So I would say starting off pretty strong here is bounty hunters. There isn't really, for starters or people just starting off, I wouldn't say there's like the best team, but if you're like getting them built up over time and you have more teams built up as well, and then you want to revisit these guys, then you can go starting with the best team, in my opinion, which is going to be between 2 different leaderships, Bosk or Jango Fett, and then the other 4 are going to be Grief, OG Mando, the Mandalorian right here, both Fetts, and then that Bosk or that Jango Fett or whoever you didn't have in there as well. So just those 5, They're probably the best 5 in my opinion. We'll have to see though with Fennec Shand, and depending on where her node is for farmable, for those people who are free to play out there, and if she's on an easier node, then I would say go for her, because her on her basic can hit 5 times, and she can really proc that Bosk's contract very, very quickly. So we'll have to see there. But for now, I definitely like that team as well. Those 5 are my favorite 5 at least. So there you go. Next team, next faction, we're going to just rifle through all of these. Next, we're going to go over to, I have it on my phone, Separatists. But this is not any ordinary Separatist team. This can be quite a few of them. I was thinking about Geos. Geos are always a good one to get, especially if you want to go for Padme really fast and then going for the gas route. But I can't forget and I can't neglect Newt Gunray. Newt Gunray is very, very strong. He is a very easy guy to get. I think he's unlocked by the Squad Arena store, I want to say. There he is. So he's super easy to acquire, and even more so, he's very simplistic in what he can do. He has 1 Zeta on his unique, but I wouldn't say that you absolutely need this to be like functional. You could have this guy just like gear 9, gear 8, or whatever. If you're a lower tier kind of a player, like you're starting off for your mid game, just having this guy as a leadership can do a lot of great things for you. And you definitely want to have him in a full-on separatists team. And that's like the beauty of this guy right here, is there's not really the best, like the coin best separatist team with Newt Gunray. There are so many. And you don't even have to just stop with just separatists. You can go with like other people. You can go with more theory crafting kind of teams, more teams that can inflict AoEs. And honestly, whenever I think about Newt Gunray, I always think about him in defense for GAC. And this is a great guy to have for defense for those people who are starting off, or even endgame players. All the way around the table, he is fantastic. He is his extortion is amazing. More damage that way, slow down the enemies. And then if he's in the leadership slot and they don't cleanse the extortion, well, he spreads it out to some more people. So he's amazing. Also, he has a revive too. So what can you not say about Newt? He's amazing. So that's pretty much Newt. Newt lead. Other separatists are great. It's not really the best team out there. There's not really one for Newt, but just having him in leadership is definitely a huge thing to have. So that is the second one here. And then the third, let's go back up here to the Rebels. This team here, as I was thinking and talking with people, people love these guys, and I love these guys too. I want to say this is not for starting off players, because these guys take quite a bit of investment to get to like really be great. But even if you are pretty early on in the game, you can acquire CLS and even Han Solo pretty dang fast. Chewie, you have to get some bounty hunters for, but if you can get Chewie with those three, you are looking at a very, very good team for GHCTW or whatever it is. 3PO kind of comes down later, but as you are progressing through the game, Rebels will impact your roster so dang much to the point where they will never be a wasted investment. You're always going to get some value out of them in almost every single game mode. They're fabulous. I cannot say anything negative about these guys. Besides, you you want to make sure you get them, right? These guys are fantastic. I would just say, though, that they're a bit more tough to get earlier on to, like, really make them top tier or, like, usable to the point where, like, they can do things. You know, without some of these guys, you're not going to be doing as much, right? I think this Chewie is a pretty big asset to the team. So that's Rebels. Rebels are a great team to have, free to play in the game. So next up here, we're going to go over two more. Let's go over, here we go. This is a fun one. Let's go over Jedi. But you know what? This is more for those people starting off. This is not going to be a JKR lead. There's no Revan, no Luke. This is going to be a Bastila Lashon lead. So mine is still after, I don't even know how long she's been out. I want to just say 5 years. After 5 years, she is still not Gear 13. And I just noticed I got to upgrade this mod. So hang on a second. Let's upgrade this mod, this potency mod. After 5 years, she is still Gear 12. And there's a reason, because you can, for the most part, do the exact same stuff from a Gear 12 to a Gear 13. Only difference is speed, and in some counters, like previously with more of those JKL counters that we had in the past before the changes, she was pretty dang versatile. And now, not as much, but I want to say this, though, about Bastila Lashon. She, like I said, she can be used in pretty much any stage of the game, early or late game. But a big part as to why she's here, being, you know, singled out as the Bastila Lashon leadership for the Jedi early on, is because you can get her really fast, and she does not need to be 7-star. Plus, this is for all Jedi allies. TM gaining, protection up, and then some of those extra bonuses with taunt, and just some more damage and tenacity. This is a fantastic leadership for early on Jedi. And I want to say the next thing here that is why she's really here on my list is because you can get her with Grandmaster Yoda, like, super early on in the game. And just those two alone, Bastila with GMY, those guys can do you so much early on in the game. I know that from experience. And this was before Gas, this was before JKL, before Revan, before all these other great, fantastic Jedi. She was able to still do a lot for me. So just the whole dynamic between Bastila's buffs and Yoda's battle meditation, spreading those buffs, so great, guys. So I think Bastila Lashon definitely is here on this list because of that early on viability that you get very, very quickly. So that's her. And the next one, I'm going to just stop at 5. I was going to, you know, add in the First Order, but the First Order are they're pretty simple, I guess, very briefly. You just have crew. You just get some of these other guys. Crew lead with OG Kylo and, like, even Officer or Executioner. They're very, very good. Nothing crazy about these guys. I would say crew is similar to a Bosk because he has a great ship as well. but I wouldn't say like they're better than the bounty hunters, but they definitely can do a lot of great things. I would say one of their biggest things is being really annoying on defense and GAC for those earlier on players, but also they got a great fleet too, so it's like you get like a 2-for-1 kind of a special here, kind of like with the bounty hunters to a certain extent, right? So pretty simple here, first order, just like crew lead. You can toss in anybody else here, and plus, you know, they are needed for the Kylo, the GL Kylo. So you know, you get some more bang for your buck along the journey. Next up, and the last one here is going to be Empires, and this is going to be the Troopers. Actually, Troopers are fantastic. These guys are 100% free to play. I don't think I ever really had a hard time farming these guys. Maybe with like Death Trooper back in the day, but for nearly everybody else, you can. I mean, they're pretty they're pretty easy to get. And even more so, I forget this, is that for some of these guys that are older in the game, you know, you have some extra drop rates. Like I think you get 2 shards instead of 1, and that was a recent change. So like with all these farms, makes it even easier. So I would say, you know, go for some of these troopers, man, because troopers are fantastic in killing some of those really annoying teams early on, which are like Night Sisters, maybe like a Mon Mothma team, some rebels. I always, whenever I think, I'm trying to think of other early game teams for GAC. I can't freaking say that. Whenever I think of those, I always think of Night Sisters, just because that's like a team always is set for defense in GAC, and that's what always was set on me until I got my troopers, and nobody set it on me after that. But even then, you can still kill a lot of great things in the game. Bounty hunters as well. Just having these guys available to you, you get some free banners. They're great for offense. 5v5 top tier stuff. And even later game, if you want to go towards, you know, a Dark Trooper, which I really should be going for, and like a Moth, these guys can continue killing more of those tough teams, like a Darth Revan team, and so on and so forth, like Grievous even at times. So they're great. Padme's, all those great teams. So Troopers, very, very good. Pretty free to play. Piet's one of the biggest guys here in terms of, you know, how useful they can be. So I would definitely have these guys on that list as well. Troopers are fabulous. So that's probably it for my video today, guys. Hopefully this helped in those players that are earlier on, or maybe mid game, and they want to like see what the next best team is to farm. Today wasn't really a whole guide of like the farming nodes and like what you should be farming or all that sort of stuff. These are just like, from my past experience, and maybe even times where I wish I'd farmed them earlier, these are like the ones, the 5 or 6 teams I just mentioned, the ones I wish I had gotten, or the ones I feel like have been the most beneficial to me in my my whole time and years playing this game. So that's pretty much that, guys. Free to play teams for you guys out there. Maybe this list can change over time. We'll have to see. But definitely some great teams. If you guys want to add any to that list, or you feel like I shouldn't add some of those to my list, let me know down below. Also, let me know more video ideas for some of these either newer game players or mid game players. I'd love to know. Anyways, have a great day, guys, and until next time, I will see you all later. Peace out and have a good one. See you guys.